Gonna throw it back 23 years today. LeBron James and St. Vincent St. Mary's going up against Oak Hill Academy, the number one team in the country, in 2002. Let's check it out. All right, guys, today we got LeBron versus Carmelo Anthony back in the early 2000s when they were both in high school. I'm going to watch the game, just kind of react. I'm going to jump around a little bit. I'm not going to watch the whole thing. And I think LeBron's squad got the upset. So let's get into it.
A high school game here in Cleveland has attracted a crowd of 10,000 here tonight. But it's not just any high school game. It's phenom LeBron James against the number one ranked team in the country, Oak Hill. LeBron Mania goes national here tonight.
I'll tell you what, man. There's nothing doper than high school sports. And you know, at the end of the day, you have a high school, you have a community that's tight-knit, everybody knows each other, and you know, you're playing sports against other communities. That's dope, man. Doesn't get better than that, honestly. Obviously, the money and stuff and the scale expands when you go to college and then you go to the NBA. But in terms of, like, the culture, high school sports is probably the freshest, most fun, pure, unadulterated sporting league. It's just dope. It's unbeatable. If you guys have good people, that's, you know, it depends if you're the sport at that high school. If it's a football school, you play football, that's dope. If it's a basketball school, you know what I mean? Like, that's the vibe. Like, this is it. I've coached high school, I've coached college. I've never really coached pros. I mean, I've trained pros, but I'm just telling you, man, like, it gets, you know, pros are cool and pros is awesome and NBA is obviously sick, but it becomes a money game. It becomes a business at that point. High school is when it's still pure. Right, people are playing for their friends next to them. They've been growing up playing on the same teams their whole life. Sometimes you hate each other because you grew up and, you know, you've always been competing with the same guy. Now you're at the same high school. You got to compete for a spot. You know, there's girls that you have crushes on. They're gonna be in the stands. You know what I mean? It's just all this little stuff that goes on. It's and then, you know, as like from the coaching side of it, it's like you really should have been building these kids since they were children. If you have a good farm system and you've done good outreach and stuff like that, and you've done your job as a high school coach, then, you know, the kids you have that are seniors now or juniors now, like, you've known about them for 10 years, you know. So, or people in your staff, depending on how long you've been there, have known about them for 10 years. It's just cool, man. It's just cool. It's really, there's no comparing anything to high school sports.
Play on national television here tonight against the number one team in the country, Oak Hill.
Obviously, Oak Hill is a different category because Oak Hill is a farmhouse, is like a factory, right? There's like a Division I factory. I just served as the general manager at the Patrick School for 2 years, and the Patrick School used to be St. Patrick's Academy. Kyrie is my basketball cousin, nephew, I guess. Weird to say that because he's older than me. You know, who else? Nick Richards. I mean, we had a bunch of guys, right? Al Harrington, I believe, Jonathan Kuminga, and there were a bunch of other guys. You're gonna have to look up the Patrick School. So, I mean, that situation is a little bit different, right? It's not the same because at the end of the day, that's almost like the college level, the way it functions. It's very similar to the college level. It's much less similar to a traditional high school. So Oak Hill's a little different, but St. Vincent St. Mary's is definitely your local high school type situation. And LeBron obviously coming through there, it's like a whole different. I mean, I think what happened is he was supposed to go to a different school and transferred over there because that was like the better, more well set up, resourceful school. So he's still, you know, but it's still a local thing. And at the end of the day, you have, you know, that happens within communities all the time. But it's much more of a regular high school.
Warriors win or contend for national championships, it seems, year after year. Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Schulman here in Cleveland, and we've got a star-studded game out on the court among these great high school talents. We've got a lot of announcers here to give us their perspective on this game as well. As I turn first to my right, we bring in Dick Vitale, of course, synonymous with our college basketball coverage. Tell us a little bit about what you know about LeBron James.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Dan. When you talk about LeBron James, it's been a runaway freight train. The Express with hype. It has started 2 years ago. He was on the cover last year of Sports Illustrated, on the cover of ESPN magazine this week, and that is all created curiosity, curiosity, curiosity. Hey.
By the way, I have beef with Dickie V because it's something personal.
He's one of those teenage phenoms that come along in their given sport and are so gifted, like a Venus Williams, a Serena Williams, a Tiger Woods, a Kobe Bryant, an Alex Rodriguez.
I think he's obviously a great announcer, but he's just a member of the old guard who likes to gatekeep, and I think they're a little bit racist. That's my personal opinion.
And all I know is if he's half as good as all I've heard about him, he is.
And I'm not saying he is personally. I'm just saying, like, as a whole, like, the old basketball culture is very, like, incest-like. You know, it's just a lot of incest in a non-literal way. But, you know, they want to bring up somebody's kid, somebody's son. It's tough to break into this world being a new party, like a random, per se. Especially somebody like me who's the son of immigrants, but that's not relevant. I'm not talking about me or anybody in particular. I'm just saying that there's a lot of this bullshit. Like, you know, oh, this kid played for me. He's a fucking dud, but I'm going to hire him to be my GA. This kid, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes. And a lot of players, I actually have a good example here for this, right? A lot of players, like, do what's popular, do what's cool when they coach because, like, they have too much of a connection to the player perspective. And they have these, sometimes players that get into coaching have, like, weird expectations. I'm not trying to come at them. Honestly, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not worried about it. But, you know, at the end of the day, for a guy like me who doesn't have meaningful playing experience, it's already difficult, right? Trying to convince these guys to give credence and respect to people like myself or like guys who are coaches first. But, you know, with coaches, with players who are coaches, who go into coaching, it's like, you know, a lot of these guys, they just do it because there's nothing else for them to do, you know? A lot of them do that. That's the truth. It's just the reality. And then they're not that passionate about the profession. It's a little bit disrespectful to the profession. And they kind of do baseless shit. Like, one example, right? You know, I mean, look, like, this is just an example of difference of philosophy, right? I think of things in a very clinical way. Like, how is what I'm doing going to affect what the players are going to do on the court and help our team win? Paul George was on a podcast. He was talking about something that they had when they were on the Clippers, and I guess Brian Shaw was their coach, right? And it was like, you know, the law was if you airball, then you got to run, right? Which I don't hate that. That's cool. That's whatever, right? You airball, you run. And I guess Kawhi came in, and Kawhi, from everything I understand about Kawhi and his mindset and his, I don't know the guy, but, like, his behavior, he's a very coach-friendly player, right? He's a defense-first guy. He kind of just plays the right way, you know what I mean? He's not concerned with his personal stats. He's concerned with winning. Like, he'll sit out games, the load management jokes and ha. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to win championships, that's the right thing to do, right? You'd rather just get into the playoffs with an advantage in terms of freshness. So, like, just the strategic things that he does to put himself in a position to win, and on the court and off the court, I feel are, and I'm not condoning load management, but I'm just saying, like, I think Kawhi is very like a coach-friendly player. LeBron James would be an example of a guy who's a coach-friendly player, right? He's easy to coach. It's easy to have him on the court and trust that these guys are going to play and enhance the system, enhance the team, enhance the organization, as opposed to playing for individual success. And, you know, a lot of guys, they want to win. They want to help the team, but they're so accustomed throughout the system and their habits are so geared towards individual success that they actually end up hurting the team. Even if they consciously are making a decision 10 years into their career when they finally make it to the NBA, hey, it's time for me to start playing like a team player in the playoffs here. It's like, dude, you already, it doesn't work like that, right? Your habits, you're habitually a diva. You're going to go take that bullshit shot. You are going to. You're going to see a guy wide open. You're going to see a guy closing out on you, and you're going to be like, fuck it, I'm shooting this. That's what you're going to do because you don't have this switch that you can flip on and off. That's a myth. It's muscle memory, cuz. At the end of the day, if you're a dickhead, you're a dickhead. It doesn't matter if you're talented. You might be very talented and still be a dickhead. Anyway, I digress. But Paul George is another guy who I feel is like a non-dickhead, right? But anyway, in this situation, the airball analogy, the airball example, I guess Kawhi came in and Kawhi airballed and he was like, I'm going to airball. They looked at him to run and he was like, I'm not running. Like, I'm going to airball. It's basketball, right? And at the end of the day, I do think you run in that situation. If you're a new player coming into the team, despite being the star, despite being the best player, you run, right? But I mean, you run. Just run. If that's what they're doing, then that's what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's what we are doing. It's just you don't come in there and question things. But now, that being said, it's Kawhi Leonard, and I also agree with him. I think that making a kid run for an air ball, or a player in that case, it's not a kid, right? It's a grown-ass man. But making a guy run for an air ball, it's like, what are you trying to accomplish with that? You know what I mean? What are you trying to accomplish? You just want him to run because you want him to hit the rim. That's what you want him to do. You want him to brick it off the rim, as opposed to just focus on making the shot. Like, that's such an arbitrary little rule, right? And that's the sort of shit that's like grandfathered in. It's not something that's like thought about and given like actual consideration over. It's just, this is what we do. We're gonna do this, and that's something that I dislike about certain things like that. Like, I mean, I got to be honest. Obviously, I don't fuck with that. Like, that's like, what are we doing here? Come on. But anyway, that's what my beef is, and there's a whole different split in philosophy, and I'm in the minority for sure in terms of who makes better coaches, what a good basketball player is, how basketball should be played, and I feel I'm a purist, and I feel like some people are more player centric, individual centric, which I'm not saying, bro. I look out for my players. I've had players that I've coached call me a player's coach. Whatever that means, right? That means I guess you're cool with the players. Like they like you. Like, some guys are authoritarians and dictators. They'll make you run all day. I've been alongside guys like that. I don't think that's the way either. But I'm saying that we buy in as a team, and each individual needs to do that. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Now, the way by which I get players to do that personally is not by dicking on them all day and being like, I'm the coach. You listen to me. You fucking run, kid. Fuck you. A lot of coaches do that. That's not how I go about it. But at the end of the day, a lot of coaches nowadays are individual-centric. It's like they just have this mindset where it's like, you know what, I want the best players and I want them to stay with me. So I'm gonna rub and tug a little bit. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just pat them on the back. Good job, kid. Good job. It's okay. No, I keep doing. You're the best player. You know what I mean? What do you want? You want some bitches in the hotel later? I got you. Like, that's what they think coaching is, right? That's not coaching. And a lot of those coaches that I just described are guys who played at a high level before, and they just jumped in. You see what I'm saying? So that fucks up the culture. That fucks up the game. So these former players that go coach, that's my beef. That's my beef. And I'm not going to sit here and say, like, dude, at the end of the day, there's integrity. Look, I've been a player before. I'm not saying I played at a high level. I actually was ass. So I know what it takes to sit there and shut the fuck up and do what I'm told. Okay? So there is, and I did that. So when I ask somebody who's a star to be like, listen, man, at the end of the day, this is my show. We got to listen to me. Everybody got to be on the same page. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere. Horses pulling in different directions don't move the chariot, right? When I say that, I fucking mean that shit. I know that, right? Because I could have easily been, Dad, they're not playing me. Like, can you tell the coach, like, you know what I mean? We're booster club, blah, blah, blah. Like, could have easily been me, bro. But at the end of the day, nah. And I was good enough that I felt like I should have played when I was in high school, when I was in youth sports. And in times I played, sometimes I didn't. But at the end of the day, it's the humility that you should have as a player. That's important. And that's getting lost, and that is building arrogant, dickhead ass dudes in life, in the world, period. So you're going through the system of sports, which should shape you into a disciplined individual. And it's just not. And I don't want to point the finger, but I think it's because of one particular type of coach. And you guys know who I think that is. It's not because of me. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing guys because I'm holding everybody to the equal standard. So anyway, whatever.
Be one special athlete. I can't wait to see him play in person.
Well, if we go on the assumption that he's going to the NBA, let's bring in somebody who knows a little bit about the NBA. Pleased and honored to have Bill Walton here with us tonight. And for LeBron James, as great as he is, this is the best high school team in the
Bill Walton struggles with the English language, but he was a great basketball player.
Country, some of the best competition he's ever faced.
And Dan, that's what makes this game so very, very special, because LeBron James has proved it off the court, off the big scene here, but now he's got the high school stage here. He's playing against a powerful Oak Hill team, the acknowledged #1 program in all of college basketball, and they're all saying, Hey, forget about LeBron. What about me? They are here to make a statement themselves. They are a high-powered offensive team that relies a lot on the press to get out in transition. They shoot a lot of three-point shots. This is a team that is as close as they come to being a professional team at the high school level. They will provide an incredible challenge to this promising player, LeBron James.
LeBron James and St. Vincent.
I'll walk that back. That was good. I've heard a lot of trippy shit about Bill Walton, which makes me fuck with him as a on a personal level. But yeah, man, it's cool.
St. Mary have played against Oak Hill.
I didn't mean to diss him earlier. That was just a joke. But, whatever. People are going to take that how they take it. Fuck it. Not going to edit that out.
Each of the last 2 years, James has scored a ton of points, 33 and 36, but Oak Hill has one vote.
I've just seen clips more recent than this of dude where he seems to be like, oh no, bro, he's not trying too hard. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, so we'll see if we have more of the same in store here tonight in Cleveland. LeBron James goes national for the first time. The Fighting Irish of St. Vincent St. Mary take on Oak Hill when we return.
Damn, man. Looking at LeBron at this age, like, I'm getting older. I'm like late 20s now, 28, and he's like a kid. Anyway, well, let's skip forward here.
Thrown up. Can he be as good as anticipated?
Oak Hill technically the home team, but they're wearing black jerseys. They left the white ones at home, so St. V's, even though...
Good Lord. Look at the gravity. This is the thing, though, like, with LeBron, right? Bro, it's hard to imagine this. Like, you grew up... This is how he grew up playing every single... Like, always. He had to be a team player.
This is in their own state. They're the visiting team, but they're wearing gold. James is wearing number 23, and that is not a coincidence.
Like, he had to be a team player. There's no way you're winning that situation every single time.
Last year.
I mean, it's just funny to watch the development. Like, when you see like snapshots of where he was at and like how he developed along, it's interesting, man.
They played against him and they lost a tough game. He had 36, and Carmelo Anthony, now one of the outstanding diaper dandies, had 34 in that game.
In a 6-point loss for St. Vincent St. Mary, Isaiah Swan had the task of trying to shut down LeBron James,
who misses his first jumper. James.
No, that's not a great shot, is it? I mean, it's, obviously on this team, it's green light for LeBron. And these guys got to buy in. I mean, we've all seen more than a game. But these guys got to buy in because it's like, this is what's going to make our team win at the end of the day. So sacrifice.
36, and Carmelo Anthony, now one of the outstanding diaper dandies, had 34 in that game.
In a 6-point loss for St. Vincent St. Mary, Isaiah Swan had the task of
that's good footwork.
trying to shut down LeBron James.
I don't know about the selection, though. Like, you could work.
Who misses his first jumper. James, right now, just through a couple of games, is not even his team's leading scorer, but they had 2 easy wins, and he was content to set up his teammates. There's a nice block by Romeo Travis, number 24.
He's going to Akron, Travis, very active player, and so is Joyce going to Akron as well. So they got 3 Division I players on their floor.
There's Travis, a lefty from the baseline with a miss, and the rebound is...
Also not a good shot. I think if you're St. Vincent St. Mary's, obviously you're not coming in like, we're going to lose or like anything like that. But you're playing against the number 1 ranked team. You got it's a powerhouse school with a bunch of kids that are going to go D1. I think you slow it down. You make every possession count. And you control the pace of the game. That's what you should be trying to do.
Brought down by Ivan Harris, number 1. He's an Ohio kid from Springfield, Ohio. He's going to Ohio State next year.
Yeah, Jim O'Brien is in the house right now, Bill. He's sitting behind us evaluating Mr. Harris.
Ivan Harris, the 6'8 senior, is the most talented player for Stephen Smith. When the players for Oak Hill are penetrating, they're looking for their own shot. When you come down that lane in a game against top-level competition, you want to think about kicking it out for some 3-point shots.
Harris with the offensive rebound. I think very dangerous to try and trap this team. If you try to trap St. Vincent St. Mary's, James is such a gifted passer that he has great instincts and will find the open man.
So far, he's averaging 18 points and 15 rebounds per game through just 2 games this season. There he is in the post. Fadeaway jumper, no good.
And that's a bad shot in high school. But look, it's LeBron James. I mean, this is his shit, right? But it was nice to see him move off the ball and play off ball for the majority of the possession, catch it with an empty side in the post. I think you could have you could have made him work a little harder there, Bron. I mean, this is what, fucking 23, oh boy, it's like 24 years ago now, and he's still playing in the NBA. Holy shit.
I think shots shot selection sometimes can be a problem.
There you go, and that's
Great young player, Bill.
talent.
Understanding what a good shot is.
I think that's Melo right there, number one.
That LeBron has had in the first couple of possessions is that when he's gotten the ball, he's come to a dead stop. You want to keep on the move all the time. The quickness, the anticipation, the ability to see the next play before anybody else even reacts. But even here, he comes to a stop and it's walking, it's deliberate. Explosiveness, he has the physical gifts. Get it on the run.
He's got a size advantage also.
Nice bounce pass, but it's knocked away. By the way, high school ball, 4 8-minute quarters. No shot clock in effect as the jumper's left short by Isaiah Swan.
LeBron's struggling a little bit offensively to start.
The putback, though, is good. Underneath by Dion Dakins, a 6'6 senior out of Statesville, North Carolina.
They go to a little trap right now. Dakins most likely being recruited to some outstanding academic schools as well. Davidson.
Drew Joyce does not get the bounce on the three, and here comes Oak Hill again.
There's got to be some jitters out there, Bill. There's got to be jitters in that young guy. The scrutiny, the evaluation, the TV cameras, the NBA scouts, the big redhead, Mr. Walton in the house. I mean, he's got to be nervous.
But that's what you have to learn to deal with. And that's what one of the things you talked about in our pregame meeting with all these young players is to enjoy this moment and to learn to anticipate the stage, the spotlight being on you. Offensive foul, out of control at the hoop.
Corey Jones takes the charge after St.
Corey Jones.
Vincent's
I had a buddy growing up named Corey Jones.
last game. When James didn't score that much, didn't
Probably spelled differently.
shoot that well, he said, you know what, I'm going to get my teammates involved, but in the big games, when the big lights are on, he said, I'm going to turn it up a notch like Thursday night. He made that statement a few days ago.
I don't see Melo. Honestly, this might not be the year Melo was. I gotta double check, but I'm pretty sure
That he's going to try
it probably was. But
to look for his shot and go to the
We'll
hoop
see.
a little bit more than he normally does.
But the problem right now is that with Oak Hill controlling the backboards, there's no transition opportunities, and they're packing it in on defense, sloughing on off everyone else.
tough.
It's a three for Drew Joyce III, the son of the head coach of St. Vincent St. Mary.
I met Drew Joyce the fourth before the game also. He's getting ready. But if you make that three like that, that'll open up the angles and give James a better chance to get to the basket.
Harris with another offensive rebound and putback for Oak Hill.
Coach Drew Joyce for St. Vincent St. Mary, he said that they have to control the boards if they're going to be able to win this game. They have not done that yet.
See, right now they're standing around. The easiest guy to guard, Bill, as you know, as a former player, are people that are stationary. And right now, they're very stationary on the offensive end.
Beautiful drive.
In transition to the other end, the basket is good for J.R. Reynolds.
Yeah, true. Got to be moving off the ball. It's good to be deliberate, good to be poised and slow, patient. Not slow, patient. But you start slow, and as the season progresses, you're going to speed up naturally because you have an instinct of what you're doing. But, I mean, yeah. You definitely want to be moving off the ball.
Who's headed to Virginia next year.
8-3, not a good start, right? You could easily lose your air here.
Cavs can use him out of that perimeter. They can use a scoring guard. I know they're excited about him. And Williams is going to the University of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, the other day, 9 points at halftime?
And then 50 in the second.
Yeah, they win the game. Wow, what a comeback.
James being guarded by a much smaller man, and they're trying to get him some looks in the post, but they just can't get him good shots.
Well, they're too stationary, not getting enough motion on the offense.
For three, no good again. Travis with the offensive rebound.
In the early going, LeBron is standing there waiting for the ball to come to him.
Now run out for Oak Hill, and it's Harris again.
Nice pass. Harris with the score. He looks like he's
So really, really bad start for LeBron, right?
going to be an active player when he wears that uniform down at Ohio State.
The defense all packed in, basically three guys forcing LeBron James into a passer.
Good find by Braun.
Jones finds Travis.
But it's hard, right? I just don't think you should be shooting as much at this point because of the doubles that are coming. Get your teammates involved. Obviously, you're LeBron James. The eyes are on you. You're going to want to, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do. You got to shoot a little bit. But start out 0 for 4 with a couple tough shots. Right here, the double comes. You find the guy in the opposite corner. Tough pass to make. He attacks the closeout and finds the next guy. Creates an advantage. LeBron created the advantage there. Right? So that's important. LeBron, we got to get the teammates involved. Right here, he creates an advantage, and his teammate is able to make use of that advantage to get a good look for another player. Hockey assist. doesn't end up working out. But, you know.
Miss and no second opportunities. Now for St. Vincent St. Mary. Oak Hill is out to an early 7-point lead, and LeBron James has yet to score.
I'll tell you one thing, he's got to keep his head up. Things aren't going well for him right now, and you can't hang your head because your teammates are looking at...
It's tough. Yeah, he's right. Vital is right, but it's tough as a high school player to be able to keep this discipline and keep your attitude right. But your teammates are looking at you. The whole stadium's watching you.
You as our leader.
Well, so far,
That's an immense amount of pressure for a high school kid. I hope y'all understand. Just this game. I mean, it's crazy what this guy has been through, man. What this guy has made it through. I mean, obviously he was a star. Let me not make it seem like he was like, you know what I mean? He was like a child in Palestine, right? I mean, obviously he was like a star. He had probably a nice car and everything was going for him, but still a lot of pressure. I mean, there's a lot there.
it's Oak Hill controlling the play as we head to a timeout here in Cleveland. Still waiting for LeBron James to get going. Oak Hill, no trouble getting going up and down the floor, leading by 7.
This is a freaking weird commercial, man. Freaking what the fuck, dude? Strange. All right, well let's go ahead and skip forward. I want to see more closer to the end. I'm gonna take a little snapshot here in the middle, see how the game's going, get a vibe, and keep pushing. Okay, so they've hung around. Bad start, but they've basically kept it even since that start.
By someone, I'll let him remain anonymous. He said he has the instincts of magic on the perimeter and the explosiveness of Michael Jordan. Now that is one heck of... He said, I'm not saying he's Michael and I'm not saying he's magic, but that is what he possesses. Would you agree with that, Bill?
I'm seeing a lot of very positive things. Right? And to even be having the discussion shows a statement.
Well, the fact that we're here. The fact that we're here.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be on TV here if this kid wasn't for real.
But also, we wouldn't be here without Oak Hill.
Exactly.
Yes.
Nice.
But it is hard to find
Great rotation. I really like that kid. Is that Romeo Travis? Great athlete, man. Good player.
high school player in the last 10 or 15 years. Now, how that projects out is anybody's guess.
Coach Wooden was talking about Fuzzy Vanderveer from the 19 teens. But that's more than 10 or 15 years.
Hey, you know who was number 2 behind you in the draft in 74? I bet you don't remember. Who was number 2 behind you in the draft in 74? A
David
sad
Thompson.
story. No, a sad story.
No, Marvin Barnes.
Marvin Barnes. Really sad because he was so good as you look at the halftime stats right here.
Well, neither team shooting the ball particularly well. But again, this is high school basketball.
Yeah. Maybe the best team in the country in Oak Hill, at least it has been traditionally in the last few years, against one of the best teams, probably the best team in the state of Ohio. They won 2 of the last 3 state titles, so they're certainly up there among the great teams in Ohio. Marcus Williams, no. Harris, very active on the offensive glass, but he has it stripped by Travis.
One of the things that I like about LeBron James is that he's given his teammates confidence. The greatest skill of the top players is they make their teammates better.
Exactly, and that's what he possesses, that rare talent.
And when you lift their spirits, when you lift their confidence level, you
Tough.
dominate at the basket area.
And you know what
Oh
he did?
shit, they're up. Okay. I didn't even realize that. Damn.
Just said it
Yo,
right
what?
there. He went from early in the game trying to show he could shoot the perimeter shot. His team was in trouble, and he said, you know where I'm going? I'm going to the interior, and I am going to dominate what he's doing. That shows you good basketball IQ.
Movement without the basketball, something he wasn't doing early in the game. He's really come alive.
Well, there are a lot of NBA guys, Bill. You do a lot of games there. I think one of the lost arts is motion without the basketball.
10-point lead now and make it 8. As that bucket will count. Besides the cultural changes, which we've talked about so much tonight, the game today is played off the dribble. The guy who has the ball, he's looking for his own play, while the guys who don't...
It's funny, they're talking about cultural changes. They're talking about cultural changes on the broadcast in 2002. And we're talking about that in 2025. Imagine how much of this magnified.
They're standing around waiting for the ball to come their way.
They're all Kodak man. They want to snap pictures. They want to take pictures.
Deion Dakins at the line completes the 3-point play.
They want to take
Your
pictures.
conversation with Jim O'Brien at Ohio State. In my research, one of the names that kept coming up was Jerry Lucas as a high school player here in Ohio.
Special.
Such a phenomenal player.
Knight spoke so highly of him. When you talk about great players, Bobby Knight always mentions the name Jerry Lucas.
Middleton High School here in Ohio. When he got to Ohio State, he did hurt his knee. He still was a phenomenal all-time NBA player. But
So look, at this point, third quarter, 37-32. This guy averaged 26 points in high school. I think 26.9, maybe 27. Can you imagine that? Think about what I just said. It's an 8-minute quarter high school game. It's 37-32 with 5 left in the third. This game is going to like 70, 75. And he's averaging 27 points a game. It is high school, right? But he's also a high schooler.
Really good.
Yeah, he was absolutely talented. Another great one out of the Cleveland area. Works in television. A guy I have great respect for, Clark Kellogg. An unbelievable high school player at St. Joe's in Cleveland.
Chip Kerr there, as well as Jimmy Jackson from here in the state of Ohio.
Joyce has it knocked away. Oak Hill scored the last 5 to get back within 5. Williams wanted the lob and just threw it up there and just
This guy, Marcus Williams, takes a lot of bullshit.
desperation, and Dakins gets the buck.
He be shot chucking a little bit, I go a lot.
Just a bad pass that happened to hit the rim.
Davidson's going to be a good player. They tell me that Davidson's one of the schools after him that he's an outstanding student as well.
Well, every year it seems they put 4 or 5 guys into Division I basketball.
Well, you know, a lot of kids go there for the discipline. Athletics.
Only 150 students in Oak Hill. I was blown away with that.
James couldn't thread the needle on that pass. Here's Reynolds for 3, and it's a 10-0 run to tie the game.
He can shoot it. I mean, they're a talented basketball team. You're not number 1 in USA Today and not be talented.
Now the competitive response from LeBron James as Coach Drew Joyce has to talk things over right now. His momentum significantly swinging back to Oak Hill.
James with a 19, including 6 already in this quarter, but it's Oak Hill on a 10-0 run and the number 1 team in the country. Doesn't want to go away. They have tied up this game. Isaiah Swan getting it done here for the Warriors. Football players.
You're the best. Whether you'll be able to handle it.
Jarvell Scott on James.
Just got to bounce up. Just got to bounce
Dude,
up.
what, man, these guys are blowing up. It's a game of runs.
Were like in your era where kids had to go to school to enjoy that moment, to enjoy life in college. But unfortunately, it's just not there until we can get the NBA Players Union to sit down with the NCAA and the commissioner's office and make it become a reality what David Stern promoted the 20-year age limit. What are your feelings about that?
I don't know if the Players Association is interested in doing that, although I think it would be in their best interest.
Yeah, because a lot of guys right now are
Fuck it, LeBron down there somewhere.
losing jobs for young kids sitting on a bench.
Makes your job as a guard
So I don't
easier.
know why guys in their 30s aren't upset about that. Plus, it would help these kids. You know what baseball...
But, you know, these guys play a role. I like Romeo Travis. I think if I was to pick a second best player on this team, I'm saying it's him. I like his athleticism and his ability to play, rotate over and just use that athleticism as a role player. That's very helpful. Drew Joyce, of course, you've seen more than a game. He hits a lot of threes. That's always valuable. This guy, I forget his name.
Works beautifully. Once you
They had a decent team. They were not Oak Hill, though,
drafted
besides
until
LeBron.
after your 3rd year.
Would that make a lot of kids not come to college in the first place if you put that restriction in?
College is not for everybody.
That's another true statement.
James with the certainly the ability to make it look like he can go to the next level and maybe skip college, go right to the NBA. He's got 29.
There is no doubt he can play. I'm going to tell you right now, you put him on the floor. You're watching what DeJuan Wagner's doing now, getting 33 after 1 year at Memphis. This kid can step in and play in the NBA. That's not the question. The question is, as the coach said, and we've addressed, how do you handle all the other factors? He has stepped it up, man.
He's got the hop going now. The air ball to 3.
He's way
Shooting has always been, I don't want to say weakness, but his mediocreness. That's been his least impressive quality.
giving him off.
Yeah.
Oh boy, a hard foul on the floor. You're watching what DeJuan Wagner's doing now, getting 33 after 1 year at Memphis. This this kid can step in and play in the NBA. That's not the question. The question is, as the coach said, and we've addressed, how do you handle all the other factors? He has stepped it up, man.
Yeah, he's got the hop going now with the air ball to 3. He's waving him off. Yeah.
Like, you run him for that? You know what I mean?
Oh, boy.
I mean, look, I'm just joking around. Maybe you do run him. That could be a thing, but it's arbitrary. If you're going to do that, you should do it for misses, not for air balls.
Hard foul underneath the basket by Jarvell Scott on James.
Because what you're doing when you say that, you don't want them to airball, you're going to run it for your airball, that's going to make players reduce their arc so they hit something. It's going to fuck up their shot. Because when you put high arc on it, that's going to give you a bigger landing area. Obviously, it's got to be perfect, like 45 degrees to 47 degrees of entry angle. But, you're going to take that away and be like, now kids are going to shoot like 42 degrees just to make sure they hit something. It's good. Accounting for air balls is bad.
Just got to bounce up. Just got to bounce right back up and play.
Look at the way he stands.
Mom's not too happy with that foul.
This is a man already.
It's hard to believe he's 17. It's hard to believe when you watch him perform. He's a 17-year-old kid. What a great scorer.
Look at the way he stands. It's crazy. Oh, my God. Glaze some more, bro. That's ridiculous. Nah, but for real, though, he really, yeah, he looks like a grown-ass. I mean, he looks like a kid, though. Like, to me, as a grown-ass man, he definitely looks like a kid. He's a very talented kid. It's funny, though, because skill-wise, I've seen, bruh, skill-wise today, the top 100, he wouldn't be in the top 20 as far as skill goes. Some of these high schoolers in 2025, man, go watch Dylan Harper in high school. Go watch Jaden Glover in high school. Right? Our coach, Jaden Glover. Watch some of these guys, man. They are it's a different game now. It's crazy because we're going to see, eventually that MJ LeBron debate is going to turn into somebody else. It's going to be him and someone else. And it's going to be, it's going to be like, look, it's not even comparable. And it's true. Like, at this stage, LeBron's jump shot for 2025 as a high schooler is underdeveloped. That's the truth. I mean, that's the truth.
In the New York Times,
he's a great athlete. He's physical. He's probably got great instinct. But back then, the standard for skill was way lower.
Likewise, he did a phenomenal story. Man-child approaches the promised land. And great story about, how they hype started? Chris Dennis, a friend of his, went to
talent is way less of a factor these days. It's much more about skill development and hard work. All right, let's go ahead and skip towards the end here.
From Texas,
I've enjoyed working with you, big fella. And Dan, it's been a lot of fun. We've been going at it here since 5 o'clock with interviews, fun, and it's been a riot. I'll tell you this, you're always one of my favorites, big fella, as a player, because you were unselfish and you were a winner. I'll never forget 72, 73, and when you went from 21 to 22 against Memphis. How did you miss that one shot?
I mean, win by 20. We did not see any Carmelo Anthony, so I stand corrected. I could swear he was on this team.
I always want to know, when you gave the speech to the team before the game, I thought I was in church.
Now they're going to clear the bench, and James is going to come out of the game along with the rest of the starters, not just by James. The supporting cast also.
Substitute for knowledge. Knowledge gives you power.
I'm going to watch this post-game interview.
It's his life. Let him make the choice. Don't let somebody else who's looking to score off of him make that choice for him.
And all those leeches, leave the kid alone. All those that want to sell T-shirts and bobblehead dolls and make money off them. Let him try to enjoy his senior year as much. He's got enough heat and pressure.
31 points, standing by with Jay Billis. Jay?
LeBron, with all the hype.
It's funny they say that, but isn't that what you're doing on a large scale? Like Dickie Vitale? Isn't that what you're commentating a high school basketball game? What are you trying to do? You doing that shit for free? Like, come on, man. All this media shit, you're making money off of him. They wouldn't be there at a regular high school game, right? So at the end of the day, like, it's hypocritical. Whenever people say that, it's like, if you're involved with him at all as a player, then chances are you're trying to make money off of him in some way. You have something to gain from that. So it's hard, obviously, yes, don't try to exploit players, but at the same time, like, we got to think about where that argument's coming from.
Going into this game, playing against the #1 team on national television, did you feel a lot of pressure coming into this?
Well, it's a different game, a different atmosphere today. And today, we played the number 1 team in the country. And I don't think it was no pressure for our team. I think it was more pressure for the fans, to come in here. We lost the last 2 years, and we just wanted to come here and get a victory.
The cover of USA Today, the cover of
Damn, Oro, bro.
ESPN magazine last year on Sports Illustrated's cover. What do you think? Is this too much, or is it too much pressure for you?
Well, I think it's no pressure for me. I think if I come out and play my game and get my team involved in the game,
Bro, he got that melanin aura, bro. I'm telling you, bro. There's something about that shit's inspirational, dog.
A lot of notoriety for me and my teammates, but I just go out, play my game every night, and give it our all. And if we give it
Colored excellence, am I right?
110% like we did tonight, no, there's no pressure for us.
Your performance, you came out, it looked like you started slowly, relied a little bit too much on the jump shot. How did you calm yourself down?
Well, at halftime, our team was telling me I need to go inside a little bit more because the player that was guarding me had 3 fouls at halftime. So I said, anything it takes to win for our teammates. They told me to get inside, and I did that for our team, and we came out with a victory.
Simple for real. 3 fouls, go at him.
What's next for you? What do you have to improve upon when you want to take your game to the next level?
Well, it's all about just getting better every day. Of course, defensive-wise and getting your jump shot better to perfection. But it's just getting better every day for our team and for myself.
All right, LeBron.
Damn, it's crazy because, like, we see him today as, like, a grown-ass man, right? But this is, like, a pubescent kid. Like, you hear it in his voice, you see it in the fucking stash peach fuzz he got going on. Like, damn, bro. This kid ended up being the greatest basketball player of all time. Everybody, I was going to say who would have thought that, but fucking everybody knew that, but still.
Games with Jay Billis. Well, we saw on the court. How about the interview skills? He seems to have his head screwed on pretty straight, huh?
That's awesome, man. Super cool. All right, well, I'm glad I watched this. Thought I was gonna get to see Melo here as well, in a kind of like an old school, showdown. Didn't get that, but got to see LeBron back in the day, cooking a little bit, dominating a number one ranked team in the country, putting up 30 plus. Really being the best athlete on the court. It was fun. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want me to watch next. But yeah, all right, man. Love y'all. Peace.